All right, we are finally live. Welcome everybody to episode 194 of Hump Day Hangouts. We got everybody here, so before we get into some interesting announcements, we want to say hi to everybody. So, Chris, how are you doing?
Doing good. Exciting times here.
Awesome, awesome. Hernan, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm rocking my brand new Semantic Mastery background for the mobile. I'm rocking the shirt. So I'm good, man. I'm ready to go.
You know that you can actually, anyone can get that phone screensaver for only $9.99.
Yeah.
Are we? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna get those out to people if they want some screensavers?
Potentially for the Mastermind members.
Cool. All right. I like it. I didn't even know about that, so I was like, man, I gotta work on my game. I've just got like the plain, Android background. So
yeah, man.
All right. I better join the mastermind. Marco, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Just doing the announcements. So I'm going to keep going. Bradley, how about you, man? Everyone's real quick today. This is throwing me off.
I just spent the last hour fixing my PC from a Windows update that fucked it all up. Pardon my language, but I'm so freaking irritated right now at Windows. And before all you Mac lovers say, get a MacBook, you can go F yourself because I'm not doing that either. But honestly, it's been just a nightmare. Like the last two times I've updated Windows, which they've made me do, it's a forced update. I've had to go through like at least 30 minutes of unupdating to get my computer to work again. It's just, I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's a pain in the ass. So
Updates, bro.
Anyways, that said, I'm happy to be here now that it's working.
Today on Windows Computers Updates, I also had a problem. Yeah, I lost all of my desktop icons.
Me too. That's exactly what happened to me. The last two updates, I've had to do that, and I spent like at least, well, it took me an hour the first time, and this time it took me about 40 minutes to get it fixed. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on.
Cool. Well, good news. We wanted to tell everybody that we're going to have a lot more, well, not a lot. We're going to have some more good information coming out about our live event that we're holding on October 19th, 20th, and 21st of this year. But we also wanted to let everyone know that we're going to be offering something special. So we occasionally offer a year-long package for the Mastermind, which is a great way either for current members who occasionally do this or for anyone to hop into the Mastermind for a year. And there's a couple things that go on here, and some of them are with the way you think about it. And we do this with some of the masterminds we're a part of. If you approach something sometimes monthly, you look at it as like, well, I'll just dip my toes in the water. I got absolutely no problem with doing that. But if you know it's something you want to do, and this is why traditionally it's mastermind members who are already in, and then they see this and say, okay, I've been in here, I'm going to stay. I'm going to pay for a year up front because I know that I want to dig in, I want to keep going, and I'm going to save a few bucks in the process.
Commit to it.
Yep. And once you cross that threshold, things change. So I'm not going to go deep into psychology. I think Bradley Hernan could probably speak to this better than I could. But I'm a believer in it, and I've done it myself. But again, I'm not telling you right now, hey, go buy a year-long mastermind. Actually, that's what I want to tell you. But if that's the right thing, that's what you should do. But we want to sweeten the deal for people who are either on the fence, and then we haven't even announced this to our mastermind members, I believe, right?
No, not yet. This is news to everybody.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we're discussing some ways to do to up the value on this. And so if you join the mastermind and you go ahead and take the yearly option, that we're going to go ahead and give you a free VIP ticket, which is worth $997. So basically, you're getting into the live event for free. So I think that, and they're posting GIFs while I'm talking. This is awesome. So I just want to put that out there. I'm going to let you guys talk about that for a minute before we get into questions. But I mean, that there's on my end, I can't say a whole lot more. It's a hell of a deal. And also that we want to see people at the live event. We want to network. We want each other to network and to be there to listen to some of these speeches, which are going to be great.
Yeah. If I can add, and you will also get access to this fat boy right here. You know, we have a bunch of others. Yeah, man. We have a bunch of others.
Which one is it?
This is the lion one that says I'm in a POFU. I don't know if you can see it because it's mirrored, but
WWBBD.
Yeah, we have a bunch of those, and they're gonna be open for the Semantic Master for the mastermind members. So that's gonna be. But yeah, I want to kind of piggyback what Adam was saying, that building a business, it's a process, right? It's not an event. It's never been, no matter what you're buying, there's no magic push button solution that you can just press and bam, you have a business. It's a process, right? And that's basically what we're doing on the Semantic Mastery Mastermind. We're helping you guys, or we're helping people to enhance and increase and scale their businesses. So that's going to be a lot of focus on the live event. That's why we wanted to sweeten the deal in terms of, you join the yearly mastermind, you get a free VIP ticket, and yeah, so we can help you guys out and accelerate the results in terms of accelerate the results that you're having with your business right now. So if you're struggling with getting better quality clients or getting more clients, or even outsourcing and scaling, because in some cases you become your own bottleneck, and we totally get it. I've been there too. So scaling your business, getting better clients, getting better results for your clients faster so that you can charge more money, you can keep them for longer. Those are going to be kind of, and all of the mindset that's behind that, those are going to be kind of the guiding points of our event. So yeah, if you're on the fence, go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah. So one of the things that, the primary goal of our POFU live event, and for the mastermind, essentially what it's really kind of like what our mastermind is all about is not just about how to do digital marketing. There's so many freaking products out there, and we have many, right? So it's not about just hey, go do this and you'll rank better in Google, or you'll generate more traffic. Because that's not enough, right? That's what most training programs teach, is how to do one specific thing and do it to get results. They don't really teach you how to build a business around it, or all the things that go into building a business, which is a lot. And so that's essentially what we're trying to make the mastermind is, digital marketing heavy or focused on that, yes, but also a lot about building businesses and how to scale so you can work less and earn more. And that's essentially, and get to a position of fuck you, right? POFU, right? That's really what it's about. And so that's really what the live event is going to be about. Not specifically hey, here's another marketing tactic. It's an underground black hat thing that you're going to go out and just rank shit for. That's great. But if you can't monetize that, how good is that really for your business? Or if you could only monetize it because, but you're not able to scale because it's you doing all the work. If you're the one that has to perform that function, then you can only do so much. And so that's part of the reason why we're doing POFU Live. And that's what we're trying to convey with the mastermind, is how to kind of scale a business around whatever services and products that you offer, but able to scale it and put people in place, train them, manage them, and all of that, to where you can remove yourself from your business and have it still make money for you. And that's essentially what we're trying to do with that. So we encourage you to come check it out.
And just to put my little 2 cents worth into this, a lot of what people are missing when it comes to getting in position of fuck you is that mindset, is being able to stand in front of that person that's messing with you, that client that's making your life miserable, and being able to say, man, fuck you. I am in a place where I can just tell you, you know what? I don't need you, which is every product that we put out, everything that we do, from Syndication Academy to RYS Reloaded, to local GMB Pro, to local PR Pro, everything that we have will put you in that place if used correctly. The problem that people run into is how to put it all into something that makes sense. And I think that's where our mastermind and where our POFU live event is going to help people the most. Because what we're trying to get to is where you're in that mindset, where you will be able to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish so that you can get into POFU. And it's not about, T.J. Fletcher calls it my magnificent obsession. And yes, guys, most of us in this business are obsessive. If you're not, you're in the wrong fucking business, and you will never be in POFU, because this is not for you. If you can't obsess about what you're doing, if the first thing you think about when you get up isn't, I'm going to make my life so much better, I'm going to do so much better today than I did yesterday, because I'm going to get more clients, I'm going to make more money, and you just obsess, and everything you do is working towards that goal. Guys, you're listening to the wrong people. You need to go find another job. Now, if what you're looking for is POFU, and POFU in this online arena, then you're in the right place.
Yep. All right. So what's next, Adam?
I think that's it. I'm just going to summarize it again. I think we've got the link on the page. If not, someone want to throw that on there real quick. If someone wants to if you want to join the mastermind, this is going to be a limited time offer also because we only have a certain number of seats for the live event. So if you want to join, whether you're in the mastermind already, whether you're not thinking about it, or whether you want to get one hell of a screaming deal, join the mastermind for a year and get a free VIP ticket, then that's the link to do it at.
Okay, does that mean we can get into questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I was doing some inbox maintenance while while we were talking. All right, let me grab the screen and we'll get right into it. Okay, cool. So Jose is up first. Says, hey guys, thanks for the event and the opportunity of asking you. You're welcome. He says, I have a long-term fashion WordPress blog. Last year, I made many local subdomains, city subdomains. So the main blog, primary domain, has no new content as long as I publish now in each subdomain. So, okay, I'm assuming he's publishing blog posts directly from each subdomain, which that's a lot of work, man. A lot of management, right? It's a lot of blogs to track or to maintain. So what should I do to make it still active? I think about publishing in the primary domain using IFTTT all new subdomain articles with attribution linked to the subdomain where the entry belongs originally. This domain has visitors and it can help everyone to know their local subdomain, but not sure how to do it better or if this is good enough idea in SEO terms. What do you think? Thanks again. Well, you know, it depends, Jose. I'm not sure because I'm not sure 100% as to what, if each one of your individual subdomain sites has its own syndication network that you're syndicating to. If that's the case, then I say this all the time, that if you're going to have multi-locations, that I recommend using the blog on the root domain as your content distribution engine. And what you do is you set up categories on the main blog. So on your root domain, you set up categories for each one of the locations. Each subdomain site, you name a category after that subdomain or that city, right? That location. And then you publish your blog posts on your root domain. But you select the correct category that it goes into, and then obviously you link your internal link to promote the subdomain within the blog post for that specific location will point to that subdomain, either the homepage of the subdomain or any one of the internal pages or another blog post. It doesn't matter. The point is the internal link from the blog post, the primary internal link, is to push to that subdomain, any one of the pages on the subdomain that you're trying to promote. Right. And the idea is that that way you only have one blog to maintain, but you can still promote all of your individual locations from the same blog. It's much, much easier to manage. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't still have subdomain sites with their own blogs and their own syndication networks, but it's not really necessary. And typically what I do is, let's just say, for example, you've got 10 subdomain sites and you're pushing all of your content through your root blog in the setup that I just explained or that I just mentioned, right? Let's say out of those 10, only 6 of them are responding well to the posts from the root domain to one branded syndication network. Well, then those other 4 locations that aren't responding as well that could use an additional push, then you can always put location-specific subdomains around each one, or excuse me, subdomains. I meant syndication networks. So location-specific syndication networks around each one of those subdomain location sites, and then publish directly from the subdomain site to those networks, or still publish from your root domain, but just use the category feed. So I don't know if you know this, most of you probably do, but WordPress will give you a category RSS feed so that you can push or syndicate posts from one particular category only, and it will omit syndicating posts from the rest of the general feed or any of the other categories because it's a category specific feed, right? And so my point is, having subdomain or location specific syndication networks, they don't necessarily have to be syndicated to anyways, because they just help to validate the entity and help to push additional location relevancy to that specific location subdomain, because it's a geo-specific syndication network, if that makes sense. But it does certainly help if you can publish directly to those geo-specific syndication networks as well. And again, there's two ways to do it. Either publish directly from the subdomain site itself that's corresponding with that syndication network, or publish directly from the root blog, which again, I still recommend that method because it's one less blog to maintain, right? You just publish using the category RSS feed. So essentially with the geo network in the IFTTT account, you would just use the trigger. The trigger would be the RSS, the category feed, right? The RSS feed for that specific category. And that way you're still just maintaining one blog, but you can promote all of your individual location sites and actually even populate geo-specific syndication networks all from one location. And so it's just a lot more of an efficient process that way. So that's what I would recommend that you do. If you already have a bunch of posts that have been syndicated out from your subdomain sites, then yeah, you can do that. You can republish those same posts onto your root blog and just point an attribution link back to the original source. Like it would be very similar to curating like from your subdomain sites onto your root blog. And you can certainly do that as well. In fact, you can even publish posts on your root blog where you've curated snippets from pages of your subdomain sites and just link back. That gives you an excuse to do an internal link with an attribution link back to that original source, but it's a curated link as opposed to like a standard contextual link, if that makes sense. So, again, I highly recommend that you guys try to get your desired results, try to achieve your desired results with the least amount of effort. And that's where using a root domain blog for even a multi-location, subdomain setup that's the most efficient way to do it. You guys want to comment on that at all?
No, that's the way we have been talking about it, and that's the way we do it. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Bradley, in terms of the relationship effort versus results has been the best way to go.
Yeah, I like easy as much as possible, right? All right, Dan's up. He says, "What's up, Dan?" He says, hey, had a question about using SEOCetnro to do our keyword density checks. I noticed that it takes into account alt tabs also for keyword density. Yes, it pretty much scans the entire page, Dan. That's part of the reason why I liked it, is because, a lot of the WordPress plugins that, give optimization tips, they're only scanning or optimizing the content within the post body or the article body of the page of the post. Right? They don't take into account the entire page once it's published because it's not looking at the header. It's not looking at the navigation menu, the sidebar, the footer. It's not looking at any of that. All it's looking at is the content within the article body of that page and or post. Does that make sense? So that's part of the reason why I've always liked using SEOCentro. But he says it also is pulling in additional keywords that I can't find anywhere. So wanting to know if it's accurate and if you're still using the service for keyword density. I am, but honestly, because I don't even really sweat keyword density that much anymore, it's not, I just look to make sure it's not over optimized is really the only thing I do. Here's an example. SEOCentro shows 9 instances of concrete grinding, and I, for the life of me, can only find 6 instances in the tabs, but it is saying there are 9, and he gives the link as the URL in question. Any clarification would be great. Yeah, so one thing, and again, I'm not 100% sure on this, but this is my understanding, is that it also looks at like alt tags and such. So it might be that concrete grinding is also in the alt tags or alt text, excuse me, of images. So it could be there. That's part of the reason why I like that is because, you can over optimize by having too many images that are stuffed with keywords, right? So that's something that it takes into account as well. So I would check that. I'm not going to have time to go through and scan this for you, Dan, but that's what I would also check is look at the alt tags and stuff. See if you can find it there. Does anybody have any insight on that at all?
No, not at all. Cause I went and checked and I'm getting a 404 on that page. Also, Dan, please don't post, URLs or domain names or whatever, because we can't control the people that watch this. And so you're giving information away to people who might spam you.
Well, hopefully this was just an example URL that he provided instead of his own property or his client's property.
Yeah, hopefully, or hopefully maybe it's a competitor, right? You want the competitor spammed. Hint.
But for the benefit of all of our audience that doesn't know that, Marco is absolutely correct, guys. We recommend you never share any of your personal projects or clients' projects URLs on Hump Day Hangouts, just because this is public. And, you know, there's a lot of trolls out there, and there's a chance that it will get spammed to death or negative SEO just because people are dicks, you know? So careful. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so next he says, if I'm using my own site and 301 redirecting to the above shown site to pass the link juice. Okay, if I'm using my own site and 301 redirecting to the above shown site to pass the link juice, are the only requirements that the site I am passing link juice to be optimized for meta for the pages I am passing juice to and trying to rank? It's a difficult question. Are the only requirements that the site I'm passing link juice to be optimized for meta for the pages I'm passing juice to and trying to rank? Thanks for what you guys do. I think it's time for me to jump back into Mastermind soon. Yeah, Dan, I was going to say, this is if this is one of your client sites, these are the type of questions that I would reserve for Mastermind, where you're going to reveal URLs and such, because the Mastermind's at least a bit safer than a public setting. As far as this, look, there's a couple things that you can do with this, Dan, for doing the 301, the clone. Like one thing I've always done, I've talked about this a bunch, is clone the site. Now, again, if you clone a site originally, and then you're working on that the client side, right, the client site for a year, there's going to be a lot of probably additional content added by that point. So unless you duplicate everything that you do on the client site and then post it to the cloned subdomain, or 301 redirect site that you create, that's way too much work. I don't ever recommend that to anybody. So what I would typically do is just, you really don't need to like have pages and all that stuff. You don't have to. Like if you clone a site, you're going to have an exact copy, right? And then you could just do a page by page redirect. And the reason why I like to do that is in the event that the client decides they don't need my services anymore, I can lift the 301 redirects. In other words, suspend all the 301 redirects from my own domain. And now I've got a full-fledged site with all the content and everything that's now on my domain. Now, I still always recommend that you're going to have to go in and edit the content to remove brand mentions and their contact information. And I would switch the content up slightly anyways, edit it slightly so that it's not an exact duplicate of their site. However, it's not really necessary. And like I said, it's not necessary to have the pages. Like you don't have to clone the site. You could literally just go buy a domain and just set up redirects, right? You could do that in cPanel. You could do it in htaccess. Or you could just put a blank, a default WordPress installation on the domain, the 301 redirect domain, and then just use like a 301 redirect plugin, like Simple 301 Redirects with the bulk extension add-on, which allows you to upload all the redirects via a CSV spreadsheet, right? A CSV file. And so that's one of the ways that you can do it. So it's not necessary that you actually have pages and posts built out. Does that make sense? You can just set up redirects. The only problem with that is, like I said, when and if, or if and when you remove the redirects because you lose the client or whatever the case may be, then you don't have any pages, you don't have any structure there, right? You could build them out at that point because you already have like a sitemap of the existing site, the old site, right? Plus, if you got all your 301 redirects built out through a plugin, you're going to see all the different pages and posts, so you'll know what needs to be built out. But again, you don't have to have content. You don't have to build all that out. You can just set up straight 301 redirects, page by page, post by post, and it doesn't have to be a page or a post created to do it. You just create the redirect using a plugin, htaccess, or cPanel. That makes sense. Okay.
If I can just add a little bit,
sure.
Dan, the destination website should be fully optimized, not just meta. Yep. You should have a fully optimized destination website that's getting the link juice so that the link juice is passed properly throughout the website and throughout the silos. And if I can recommend something to you, Jeffrey Smith's SEO bootcamp. Do we still have the back end offer where we get it for half price?
That's evergreen. That's evergreen for us.
So if you want to pay $1,000, I mean that's fine. Go to Jeffrey's page, or Adam, if you drop the link or give him the link, he can get it half price. But there's nothing better at this moment than Jeffrey Smith's training as far as siloing and how to direct your link juice, how to interlink your pages. I mean, his deep link juggernaut is freaking, it's stupid how good it is. So I mean, that's my take on it. Make sure your page is fully optimized. Whatever you decide to do, fully optimize your destination page.
Now, should I mention cross-domain canonicals right here, or is that Mastermind only?
No.
That seems like Mastermind only.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because Dan, there's some other ways to do it besides 301s is all I'm going to say. And in the SEO bootcamp, you'll learn about that, or if you come to Mastermind, back into Mastermind, we'll go over that again if needed. But that's a great way to do it too, because then you're not leaving some way for others to see what you're doing, right? It basically, you can mask the same type of results, get the same kind of results. By the way, I misread that second part of your question, so I apologize. Marco caught it. Yeah, the destinations should the target URLs that you're trying to push juice to. Yeah, you don't want to just optimize the meta. That's only a very small portion of a page's optimization, right? You want to make sure the page itself is optimized too. Okay. So thank you, Marco, because I missed that part of it.
Yeah, if I may add real quick, Dan, buy the yearly thing, come in the Mastermind for good, and get the ticket, get the VIP ticket, and not only that, but you would also get to schedule a call with one of the Semantic answering the partners. Yep. So you can get on a call and we can discuss all of this privately if you have client information that you want to share with us. You know. And
last thing, just I know Adam mentioned this at the beginning, but I just kind of I got sidetracked. I meant to say it then, but you know, that's like the Vikings. You burn your boat, right? You land on shore and burn the boat. That's what joining the Mastermind for a year is. It's like you bite the bullet, you burn the boat, you know, take the plunge and burn the boat, and then it's like, okay, I'm here for a year. Might as well make the best use of it, you know. So, anyways, definitely encourage you to come back, Dan. Nigel, what's up, buddy? He says, good day, gents. Grateful to be here as always, and thanks for all you do. Well, thank you, Nigel, for showing up every week. He says, looking for 2 recommendations, cheapest, functional, and best value for each of the following services. Okay, autoresponder, I'm going to give you my number one. I'm using it like crazy. And Nigel, as far as I know, you're still in the Mastermind, but I've been doing the prospecting training and all that kind of stuff, and I use Drip, and I love it. I absolutely love drip.com for autoresponder because of the automations. I know there's other services like ActiveCampaign and stuff that do very similar to what Drip does, but I don't do a whole lot of email. I haven't done a whole lot of email marketing until recently, and I really like Drip. And in fact, you know, a lot of the prospecting funnel stuff that I've been setting up and still refining to this day, like it's been a lot of work, but it's coming together nicely, by the way. I'm using Drip as my primary automation tool. They call them workflows in Drip, but you can do so much with it. And then when you combine Drip with Zapier, there's pretty much almost nothing you can't do, if that makes sense. And it's rather inexpensive. And what I love about Drip is it inboxes to the primary inbox of Gmail, which if you check, I've tested a lot of autoresponders for prospecting and cold outreach emails and such. And a lot of them go to the promotions tab. For example, ClickFunnels, which I tried so hard to make Actionetics work for my in ClickFunnels because I really love ClickFunnels. But as soon as the email goes through their servers, it goes into the primary or the promotions tab, even if it's 100% text based, right? No HTML, no images, nothing. It goes directly to the promotions tab. So it's very, you know, and guys, you all know the promotions tab's a ghost town. Nobody goes and checks that. Very rarely do people go and check that because it's mostly, you know, it's promotions. People know that. So if you can get into the primary inbox with your emails, then you're going to get a hell of a lot better open rates. And so I prefer Drip. Now, I know some of you guys, Adam, Hernan, and Marco, or excuse me, Chris, probably may have different suggestions. So what do you guys say? Not all at once.
No, I was thinking, but I agree with you in terms of, yeah, autoresponder. I mean, we have been using cheapest functional, best value. We have been using ActiveCampaign. I know that you've been using Drip, right?
Yep.
And tracking number, Callfire.
Callfire, yeah, that's still my go-to source for tracking numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I use CallRail.
CallRail's another one. One that I like for like if I'm not doing a lot of volume where I need a lot of numbers, is I like Vumber, VUMBER.com. I like Vumber because it's got a simple interface and it's got a lot of really cool features. And it's like $9.99 a month for, I think, 2 phone numbers, $20 a month for, I think, 5 numbers or something like that. You can go to Vumber.com and see. And it's got a lot of really cool features. But if you're doing a lot of volume where you need a lot of phone numbers, then again, my preferred is, I've just been using Callfire since I started lead gen stuff like in 2010. So I've been using Callfire for 8 years and I'm not switching now. I can tell you that. So, but yeah, CallRail is another good one. CallRail actually has a lot of integrations with AdWords and such, correct?
Yeah, actually, yeah, they do. If not, you can always Zap. You know, you can always use Zapier.
Yeah.
They have a pretty Callfire and I think Twilio, both of them, they're integrated with Zapier. So.
Yep.
Also, you know, last thing, if your list is really small or non-existent at this moment, then use MailChimp to start.
Yeah.
And then you could always move. MailChimp is free for, I think, first 500 or whatever. So start there, and then you could always move up.
Yeah, I was about to say say the same thing. They bumped it up to 2,000. I just checked while you were talking.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. You can't get cheaper than free.
Yep. I would test inboxing though, honestly, guys, because that's the biggest thing for me. Like for example, just so you let me give a quick example. I started a business about the ketogenic diet about almost 2 years ago now called Keto VIP, and my email list is 10,000 subscribers, but it's all been in action. Like I moved it all from GetResponse last year, around this time last year actually. I moved everything from GetResponse into Actionetics, because I was trying to use ClickFunnels and Actionetics. What I like about why I wanted to do that was because, you know, my opt-in pages and everything were on ClickFunnels. And if you can keep a visitor in the ClickFunnels environment, you can track exactly what their behavior is and what actions they've taken from the moment they landed on the page all the way through transactions to the emails, to their opens, the clicks, all that kind of stuff. It's incredible what kind of data you can get back if you keep everything under the ClickFunnels umbrella. But unfortunately, nothing inboxes. And I got a 10,000 subscriber email list. And I know the open rates are incredibly low because they're never, people aren't seeing the emails. So I just actually had Chris, he's been working on last week or week and a half on moving everything into Drip for me from from Actionetics, excuse me, so that I can revive that list, that email list, because I know damn well that list should be making me, a couple grand a month, but it's not. It's only, I get maybe $200 or $300 a month in checks from ClickBank, and that's because very few people even see those emails. So definitely check inboxing rates if you're going to use something like MailChimp. I'm sure MailChimp's probably good, but I haven't used it in years, so I don't know. Okay. Any additional related use case, situational example, and best practices when using products for local lead gen and affiliate list building is welcomed. Yeah, again, in my opinion, just having a good autoresponder that inboxes well is incredibly important. For example, like I just mentioned, for cold outreach emails, it's important. Or for, and I'm using GMass for that actually, which is G Suite and my own domains and such. But also, like I said, for affiliate stuff, you got to make sure they're getting in their inboxing, guys, because if it's not if nobody sees your email, you're not going to make any money. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So make sure that you're setting everything up. If you're going to be using your own sending domains within an autoresponder, which is part of the reason I like Drip, because Drip basically tells you, hey, don't use your own domain. It says use ours because ours inbox really well. And their reputation is really high. And that's why I'm following their advice, and it works. But in a lot of autoresponders, you can use your own custom domains. And that's fine. But if your domain, you got to make sure that you have all the correct records and everything else. I know because I've been dealing with that a lot with a lot of the cold prospecting emails that I've been doing. If you don't have like the SPF records, the DMARC records, DKIM key, like all these things, these records added to your domain, and you build up your domain reputation, then your domains will be flagged and it'll be undeliverable. You'll get a lot of bounced emails and such. And that's just a pain in the ass because you put work into setting up campaigns that don't end up being delivered, or very small deliverability. And so it's a waste of effort. Okay. That was a great question though, Nigel. +1 stick. There you go. Okay. Greg, what's up, Greg? Pofu. I like that. It's tofu. Hey, Dan, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen him since last year at the Funnel Hacking Live event. Hey, guys, just wanted to give you all kudos from listening and working through your programs. I am kicking butt. Everybody go +1. Dan's TELUS Cambridge Electronics Incorporated comment. That's awesome. For example, I have a #1 position locked down for every term I can think of in the snack pack in Google. Just wanted to say a big thanks to you for this. That's awesome, Dan. It's awesome. Scott, I hear that. Okay, that was from my Windows 10 rant. Dan says, I do have a question this week. I've ordered and received my RYS package. I'm confused on how to use this now. I've sifted through the training and I'm not sure how to use this and where I am to submit content to get this going. I could use a quick... If you could quickly speak on this, that would be greatly appreciated. Dan, if you don't already have it, contact us at support for Marco. What is it called? The user's guide?
It's the done for you user's guide.
Okay. Yep. So contact us for the RYS done for you user's guide. If we didn't, we should, guys, are we delivering that when the drive stacks are delivered? We should.
I don't know what the guys at SerpSpace are doing, dude.
Okay. Well, if it comes back under MGYB, we should put that into the delivery email.
It's already in the process docs.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. So yeah, Dan, just reach out to us at support. We'll get it to you. And here shortly, guys, that will be delivered with every order, which will be much better. Scott, 35 damn crashes over here. Okay, buddy. So I don't feel so bad now. I've only dealt with 2. So Scott T is the winner. Winner. All right. Dan says, I ordered an SEO package. My understanding is that a plugin is to be installed on my WordPress site. I see the work says completed, but I don't see the plugin. Should I be able to see it? No, Dan. Actually, if you have any questions specifically about the SEO packages, contact support at serpspace.com and ask about that, because Roman will probably be the one to answer that. He's the one that has the most information about those SEO packages. But no, you should not see that plugin, because it's basically like a plugin that does its thing in the background. There are no settings to configure. There's nothing. And the reason why it's a hidden plugin is so that you could like literally put it on client sites and such, and they won't see it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not supposed to see it because there are no settings to configure or anything else. But if you have any questions about the SEO packages from SerpSpace, contact support at serpspace.com. And I'm pretty sure Roman will reply to you because he's the one that knows the most about that particular service. Okay. That's not one of our services, guys. Like, it's a great service. There's no doubt. I've got a lead gen property that I tested it on, and it definitely works. But it's not something that we maintain. It is in our marketplace or SerpSpace marketplace, but it's not a semantic mastery product. Just so you know. Okay. Another question from Dan. Damn, Dan has been quiet. Now look at him. Jesus Christ. All right. Next, he says, your comments on this would be cool. I've added an SSL certificate to my site, and I'm having issues with some links showing an error. Yep, that'll happen. I'm surprised you didn't lose a bunch of images, too. And it'll screw up sometimes JavaScript and CSS and all kinds of stuff. I'm told that if I have to deal with these links before my full padlock appears, I'm stumped to trying to fix this. Any recommendations? Yeah. All right. Typically, whenever I've had to convert a site from non-SSL to SSL, I've gone to Upwork and just found somebody that specializes in that kind of stuff and then just hired them. And literally, because they'll come from, you know, the Philippines and stuff like that. I mean, I just say, look, I got $50 for this job. And I mean, I just offer $50 right off the bat. I mean, you could probably get it for even a lot less, but I just say this, and, you know, I post a job, say I got a WordPress site. I just switched it over to an SSL. I'm having some issues with some images or some scripts or something like that. Whatever the issue is, I explain it and I say, I got $50. I just need somebody to go in and fix this for me. And that's it. And I pay somebody to do it and I let them do it. Because I actually spent a bunch of time trying to figure all that shit out on my own. And then I realized that my time is better spent trying to make money instead of fixing WordPress code. So find some data nerd on Upwork that can do that for you and just spend a few bucks and get it done and problem solved. And then bookmark that person so that the next time you run into that issue, you can just contact them again. If anybody else wants to tell them how to do it personally or how to do it himself, feel free. But I say hire that stuff out.
Agreed.
Okay, very good. Also, if you have a good host like Liquid Web, a lot of times Liquid Web will Again, if you have a good host, which every one of you on here should, guys, stop using cheap hosts, period. I'm telling you, stop using cheap hosts. If your sites aren't ranking, it's a good possibility that it's because of your host, or that might be one of the main reasons. And there's an absolute correlation between shitty hosts and problems with sites not ranking and all kinds of stuff, guys. And not only that, but the support sucks for most of those cheap or inexpensive hosts. And so I know like Liquid Web will a lot of because I use them a lot. I'm also using WPX hosting, which is Terry Kyle's hosting, and it's really good too. Their support is amazing over there too. And so typically if I have an issue, I just contact support and ask them, and they'll fix a lot of SSL stuff for you too. If you've got, again, if it's a good host. If it's a budget host, forget it. Good luck with that.
Liquid Web, man. Liquid Web. Everyone. Liquid Web. I haven't used the WPX, Terry Kyle stuff. Liquid Web. I wouldn't change them for the world. And fortunately for SSL stuff, we have a Caesar.
Yeah. Well, and what's great is now, you know, you get free SSL certificates with WPX and Liquid Web. So whenever you install a new site, it automatically upgrades it to and installs SSL for you, and you don't even have to worry about it. And since it's new, everything, and it got installed that way, your WordPress site then everything just works right for the first time. It's when you have to convert an existing site to SSL that you run into issues. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next, Jim Wells. What's up, crickets? That's awesome. We need to get a soundtrack for that, guys. We really do. Crickets chirping. Slow day in here. How effective would an RYS stack be for promoting a YouTube channel when not for a local business? Absolutely, it would be effective, guys. RYS stacks, drive stacks, guys, they're not necessarily just for local. I mean, we teach mostly local stuff. There's no doubt. But as Marco says, your local is all relevant, right? It's local is relevant to the observer, right? What is your local? Your local could be a town. It could be a state. It could be a country. You know, what is local to you? And so drive stacks are absolutely can work for national SEO, global SEO, local SEO. It can help to push YouTube. I mean, just think about it. You're using a Google property to promote Google properties, YouTube. So it's absolutely going to help. Would it be effective to use on a channel with 200, 400 videos? I don't care how many videos it is. Yeah, it would be effective because you're just going to push relevancy and juice into the channel from other Google properties. Marco, talk on that, man, because this is your wheelhouse.
Well, yeah, this is one of those we always get because, you know, so many people do local. And so people start thinking, well, our RYS must only work for local. Fortunately, you know, and in the free group, there was a discussion about RYS, you know, or how to boost Google sites and their SEO ranking and all of this stuff. And Brian Costello, you guys met Brian in Dallas, I think it was. Mm-hmm. We have a testimonial from him where he went from literally broke to 100K plus in less than a year. And he gives us, you know, a bunch of credit for what we do. And he actually talks about how he's ranking for the term insert keyword. So whatever keyword you want plus lawyer. So imagine that. You're doing personal injury lawyer, but you want to rank nationally instead of locally, or whatever your niche is. I mean, I'll post. It's a free group. You can join the group and go see the. Yeah, grab that post URL. I am, and I'll
tag Jim on it.
Post it and paste it. It's not letting me. See, there it is, and plus. There we go. He should be tagged on it if I have him. All right.
Very good. Thank you. Along the same lines, would you recommend creating a G site with or without a drive stack with individual pages for each video? I don't know that I would do that unless I had, I mean, if you got 200 to 400 videos, unless you've got a software program that'll do that for you, that's a lot of manual work. So I don't know that I would do that. Yeah, you could do it. You could do a lot with that. But again, that's a lot of damn work. So I would either hire a VA to do it or find a software that would do it quickly, or else I certainly wouldn't do it manually. I'll tell you that. Would this draw a red flag, even though it's legitimate content? 200 to 400 pages seems like it might be overkill with this, but this would allow link hammering the property. No, that wouldn't raise any red flags. I mean, if they're 200 to 400 unique videos, then there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, think about that, guys. It's like if you had 200 to 400 of the same freaking video and it's basically duplicate posts, then yeah, that could cause an issue. But Not, you know, if it's unique content, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So absolutely, I mean, you could do it, but again, I wouldn't recommend Jim manually creating all that stuff out. I'd hire a VA, have them do it, or I would find a software that you can use to do that. Okay, good questions.
We just had Paul Fussell jump in towards the top and say our RYS stacks will rank anything.
Yeah.
So he's always using our done for you services, so he knows they work.
Thank you, Paul. Another one. I also have a question for indexing. For example, I have a bunch of citations which are the same as the ones my competitor has coming up in SEMrush, but mine aren't showing. What should I do to get these suckers indexing properly? Well, you can do several things. I mean, you can try indexing services. A lot of those aren't working nearly as well as they used to. Google is slower to index stuff now than it used to be. So you can just wait. Citations have always been one of those things, guys, that you know, certain citations index quickly, but a lot of them take a long time to get found by Google. I don't know why that is. Maybe because the directory sites where citations exist have so many listings and so many new listings are created that Google doesn't crawl them as often. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I've noticed that over the years, that's always been the case, is that citations tend to index slowly. Again, there are some that index quick, but the vast majority of them index slowly. So one of the things that you can do is just push links to them, right? So just grab a list of your citations, all of them. Just run a citation report from Bright Local. That's my preferred source for that kind of stuff. And then just extract all the profile URLs or put them in a CSV file or whatever, and then just hammer that shit. Build a link building campaign to those URLs. That's one way that you can get them to index quickly, or quicker, anyways. Okay.
I spoke to Dedia just last week, and he's up. He's up over 60%, close to 70, well, between 60 and 70% indexing once again. I don't know if that stuff is, if indexing is open in SERP space. If it isn't, then maybe we should open it back up, or just people find Mehul Dedia, because he's a master at this shit.
Yeah, we should probably find out and then maybe push that in the MGYB if that's available. So
it's something that we need to look at then.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart making some tofu brownies. That's awesome. Leave it to Wayne and Greg now. They're our memers. All right. Okay. Oh, so good to hear. I thought I was psycho about this stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Danny says, how much is the yearly mastermind, guys? Right there's the link down here. So go check it out. I believe it's $3K. But that's roughly $600 off. If I'm correct, that's 20% off, right? You get for 10 payments instead of 12, you get the year. Plus, right now, like I said, you get a ticket to our live event, POFU Live, right? Isn't that what the offer is, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, which is another
$1,000 value.
Yeah, $1,000 on top of that. So.
Yep. Sweet. Okay. D Card says these guys did an email deliverability test. Check them out. Okay, cool. I'd like to see that actually. Drip. Look at that. Drip's number 3. Cool. I know I love it, man. I absolutely love Drip. Again, I don't have experience with most of these. I've got experience with GetResponse, Aweber, and Drip, and then obviously Actionetics, which I don't recommend. Even though as much as I like ClickFunnels, I don't recommend Actionetics at all. And out of the
Bradley, Actionetics isn't actually sending the email, so it depends what service is used on the back end, like Mailgun or SendGrid.
SendGrid. That's what I was using. I was using SendGrid, and I just had issues over and over and over again with it. I just couldn't get it to work. And I was using my own sending domains, and I set up all the records correctly. But it's, again, no matter, I even had Chris testing it, Chris P, testing it. And as soon as even straight text-based emails would go straight to primary promotions tab. So that's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. I know it could be ClickFunnels related. I just want to, in case anybody was using it or wants to use it or something, just make sure they look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, guys. Again, I'm not bad-mouthing ClickFunnels. I just have not had any success with getting Actionetics, anything that goes through Actionetics to inbox well. That's all I'm saying, okay? I love ClickFunnels still, nonetheless. I'm just not using their email service. But that's cool. Thank you, D-Card. I appreciate that. What's next? I'm on Bluehost. Good. No, run away from Bluehost, man. Bluehost sucks. They're like the big brother of HostGator. Like, honestly, Bluehost is a terrible host, guys. Get off of it as soon as you can, Dan. Go to Liquid Web. If you're not doing Liquid Web, guys, you can't even get shared hosting over there anymore. You got to get cloud hosting or VPS. So it's a bit more expensive. One of the ways you can offset your costs, though, for that is to get your own VPS and then sell hosting to your clients. Right? Sell, because then you can move, transfer, or migrate all of their sites to your VPS from whatever shit hosting they're on, because most clients are going to be on shit hosting. So move them into your VPS and then set up a monthly or a yearly subscription via PayPal that you send them to subscribe for their hosting, which also gives you a little bit more control, doesn't it? Think about that, guys. When you manage the hosting for your clients, it makes it harder for them to want to leave you, doesn't it? Doesn't mean that they can't still say, oh, we don't need your services anymore. They're still on the hook for your for hosting. But you know, and then you could always put a clause into it and say, like, you know, if you're not paying me for services, your hosting is going to be $50 a month, and unless you want to migrate it to your own server. Think about that. I mean, I'm just saying it's a good way to do it, because then you can actually generate revenue from hosting. And but if you're not going to be doing that, then I recommend WPX hosting, because you can do hosting with, you know, not having to pay for a VPS every month. And they've got several good plans over there. The only thing I don't like about WPX hosting is that you can't create subdomains. Each subdomain counts as a website slot. Like, so for example, the lowest plan is 5 websites at WPX hosting. And so you can't create a website and then, like, say, if you created a website in 4 subdomains, you've used all 5 slots in your hosting account. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Okay. But again, Liquid Web is so much better.
A good way to make money on Liquid Web is tell your client that it's managed hosting.
Yep.
So that, you know, that they can call to get the problems fixed. And what you do is you get the email, and then you should have a VA training for this, because you don't want to do this yourself. It takes too much time. You have your VA call Liquid Web and get the solution. And your clients will love you. They will love you, because they won't have to mess with hosting, with anything having to do with hosting and problems ever again. You're dealing with it. Clients happy, everybody's happy, and you make money off the hosting because you charge them more money.
That's right. And it's funny you say that, because I just did that with one of my clients who's been with me for a long time. Oh, and it's just funny, but originally when Liquid Web still had shared hosting, so I sold him. I had my client subscribe to Liquid Web through my affiliate link like 4 or 5 years ago when I got this client. But then those of you that know Liquid Web know that when they eliminated their shared hosting, they sold their shared hosting department to Deluxe Hosting, and Deluxe Hosting sucks. And so anybody that was on Liquid Web shared hosting automatically got moved over to Deluxe Hosting for you know, and that's just what it was. Well, that client decided he just wanted to stay because he didn't want to go through the hassle of moving to another host and all that kind of stuff. So we left him over there. Well, that client had a DDoS attack, or not that client, the IP that his site was on. One of the sites that shared that IP had a DDoS attack happen about 2 months ago, and it completely shut down all sites on that IP. And my client's site's a local business, pest control company. He was down for 4 days, like nothing for 4 days. And Deluxe Hosting support was crap. They wouldn't give us any information. That the support guys just kept saying, we don't know when it's going to be fixed. We're sorry. There's nothing we can do. We don't know when it's going to be. I mean, for 4 days this went on. So I told the client, I said, look, my recommendation is, you know, here are your 2 options. We can do shared hosting at a better shared hosting, you know, and I was talking about WPX, and it's going to be about $15 a month for hosting, or you can go the VPS route, which is what I recommend. Because now you get a dedicated IP. It's specifically just for you, so you don't have to worry about DDoS attacks on other people's sites and that kind of stuff. And it costs, I think, $60 a month. And I encouraged him to take that one, because for his business, it makes sense to not have, you know, shared hosting issues or the stuff that can happen with shared hosting. So I ended up I had to sign back up for the affiliate program, but I sent him my affiliate link, because I actually don't have my own VPS with Liquid Web. I use WPX a lot for individual sites now. But anyways, so I sent him to Liquid Web, and he subscribed via my affiliate link. So you can either sell your own hosting from your own VPS, if that's what you're going to do, or you can even just direct others to subscribe through your affiliate link. which, and you get, I mean, it's a nice payout. I think it's like a $250 payout or something for just having him subscribe and recommending, like what Marco said, it's managed hosting. So there's never any problem. If there's any problems whatsoever, all you got to do is contact support and say, this is my problem. And they fix it, man. It's awesome. So anyways, let's see. Where are we?
I think we were just answering, is Bluehost good?
Yeah.
No. Crap.
Run away, Dan. Run away. That's right. As quickly as possible. All right. Thanks, Jim. Wayne says, I see where Google is killing off the add URL page. It is now supposedly redirects to Google Search Console login page. Yeah, but isn't that still available if you're logged in? I think it is.
Yes, you have to be logged in. It's still available.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right here it is. I'm logged in, so let's see. To submit a URL, oh, look at this. To submit a URL to the Google Index, either submit a sitemap or use our new URL inspection tool. What is this? This is new. Thank you, Wayne. I actually just used the submit URL tool like 2 days ago, so I'll have to read up on this.
I have it open right now. I have it available. I'm on Chrome and I'm signed in.
It's not giving it to me. I'm signed in. Huh.
Interesting.
It might be rolling out to you soon, but on my US IP, it's definitely it's not there anymore.
Okay, cool.
So cool. Well, thanks, Wayne. I'll have to look into these. What does it say? Submit a sitemap. So where do we submit the sitemap, though? I guess just in Search Console where you add sitemaps.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if there was a separate page now that you could submit them, but yeah, I know where that is. Huh. That's interesting. Well, there you go. Now, isn't there a way to create sitemaps? Like, can't you just create a sitemap like an XML file and add it? I don't know if you can or not. Now, I guess it has to be on a domain in Search Console. I was going to say that might be a workaround, just to create like some sort of use a domain that you use specifically just to create sitemaps for indexing purposes. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like you could potentially have a domain that all you do is create sitemaps for links that you want to index. I don't know that that's very efficient, but anyways, just a possibility. How many sites would you recommend on one VPS? That would be a great question to ask Liquid Web, or Marco might have an answer for that. I don't. No,
I don't have an answer for that because it depends on how much use each site is making of the resources, right? Because you get even if it's a VPS, the resources are limited as far as RAM and memory space and all this
bandwidth, disk space.
Yeah. Yep. So if everyone is using it equally, you can get just a whole bunch of websites in there. But if you have one that's hogging a lot of resources, then that limits it doesn't limit the number that you can add in there. They're all going to be really fucking slow, which defeats the purpose of having Liquid Web in the first place. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And the only thing, but one of the beauties about VPS is they're scalable, which means if you're stuck, like for Scott just mentioned, yeah, it's $59 a month for Liquid Web VPS smallest package. That's what my client just signed up with. But what's great about it is if in the event his site traffic gets to the point where he's limited on his resources, like his bandwidth and such, it's very easy to scale a VPS. All you got to do is upgrade the package, and they'll handle all that on the back end for you. It's real simple. It's like cloud hosting. It's scalable, easily scalable. Okay. So Wayne, we're almost done, guys. I want to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up anyways. Wayne says, my web host support guy, Justin, is the guy in charge of my IT department. I tell clients whenever they have an issue with our hosting that they just send an email to Justin. We forward it to him. I have another employee without hiring one. Yeah, that's right. That's just like the Liquid Web, basically. Because I mean, that's the same thing. Like, if I have I've got a lot of clients now that I've moved on to WPX hosting, and so I tell them that's managed hosting too. And really all they do is just like, if there's a problem that they notice, they just contact me and tell me, and then I just forward it over to the hosting department. They fix it, and then I just call them back, and it makes me look like a rock star, right? Like they think I did the fixing. And it's not me, it's the support techs. So Scott says, confirmation deluxe hosting is terrible. I moved sites from deluxe to InMotion. Had some issues with page load speed, excuse me. Just migrated to Liquid Web VPS smallest package, $59 a month. Very fast page load speed. There you go, buddy. Awesome. Confirmation from Scott. Who wants the referral monies for Liquid Web? Liquid Host, send me a link. Oh, there you go. Semantic Mastery. Marco already did it. So, by the way, guys, we need to make sure that that link is still up to date, because I had to sign up for Liquid Web affiliate program again, because they changed, I guess, all this stuff. So we need to make sure that's correct. If somebody wants to make a note of that, I'll try to look into it. Anyways,
it goes to the correct page.
It goes to the correct page, but I'm not sure that we're actually getting. I don't know. It looks like we are referral ID, so maybe I'll just double check it. No worries. All right, thanks, Dan. We appreciate that. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.